Hi guys, welcome back to Bonsai TV once again. Today on the third episode of the Flashpoint storyline, we are going to find out why exactly Wonder Woman and Aquaman had gone to war with each other. But before that, let's take a quick recap about what happened in the earlier episodes of the Flashpoint story. In the earlier episodes, we learned that Barry Allen was in a world where he wasn't the Flash and everything was completely different here. Here Thomas Wayne, Bruce Wayne's father, was the Batman. His mother Martha Wayne was the Joker. Aquaman and Wonder Woman were fighting a war against each other, and both of them had already destroyed half of the world outside Atlantis and Themyscira. Here in this reality, Lois Lane had gone undercover for Cyborg, who was working for the US government, who wanted to destroy Wonder Woman's forces. And this all change in the reality had been done by none other than Eobot Thawne, aka the Reverse Flash. At the end of our last episode, we saw that Barry Allen got completely burnt and fried while trying to regain his powers back. Now, in today's episode, we are going to take a closer look at what led to the war between the Atlanteans and the Amazons. So, what happened was that in the Flashpoint reality, Arthur Curry, aka the Aquaman, fell in love with Wonder Woman at a very young age, and both of them had their love story going on. But instead of what we see in love stories generally, that the parents are against the budding romance of the two protagonists, here it were Artemis and Orm who were against this budding romance of Arthur and Diana, Diana being Wonder Woman's original name. So Artemis from Themyscira and Orm, who was Aquaman's brother, did not want Diana and Arthur to get married. And they both were the ones who instigated and buried the seed of what was going to turn into a full-fledged war one day between Aquaman and Wonder Woman. What both of them did was they both instigated an assassination attempt on Wonder Woman by an Atlantean. But Wonder Woman's mother came in between to save her daughter and she was killed. And Wonder Woman believed that it was an Atlantean. But the one who did this actually was Artemis herself. And Aqualad, who was Aquaman's sidekick, discovered this. And in the fight, in the confrontation between both of them, he was killed by being thrown down from a balcony. Now, the Amazons were made to believe that the Atlanteans were using this love relationship between Wonder Woman and Aquaman to capture and subvert Themyscira. So the Atlanteans were basically thrown out of Themyscira because their queen had been killed. Now Aquaman's and Wonder Woman's love story came into a trouble, and because Wonder Woman was the queen of Themyscira, now everybody at Themyscira believed that the Atlanteans were trying to wage a war by having killed their earlier queen. Wonder Woman was being constantly fed lies against Aquaman, and the same was being done by Orm to Aquaman. Basically, Artemis and Orm were seeding a war between Aquaman and Wonder Woman. So even after Aquaman came to Themyscira to meet Wonder Woman and to explain her everything, that the Atlanteans did not kill her mother and all that, Artemis once again played a ploy and instigated the army of Themyscira by emotionally blackmailing them, since they were in a grief right now since their earlier queen had been killed, and there was an attack by the army. At that moment, finally Wonder Woman decided to leave the island of Themyscira with all the Amazons by blowing up the entire island of the Themyscira or volcano or whatever Themyscira was built upon. So after that, what Wonder Woman did was she came with all the Amazons to Europe as refugees, but the governments refused to give them any place there. Therefore, Wonder Woman decided to take the place by force. Now, Wonder Woman gathered the most powerful women in DC Universe with her, and she named them her Furies. Therefore, the name goes Wonder Woman and her Furies. After this, Aquaman was still being fed lies and seeded conflict against Wonder Woman and the Amazons. Now, the whole of Atlantis and its people had started to hate the Amazons, and they wanted to show them that they were not to be reckoned against. And they decided to finish the Amazons by launching an attack in England, where the Amazons were right now. So what happened was Mira, who was supposed to be Aquaman's wife, reached in front of Wonder Woman one day, launching an attack with some of the Atlantean soldiers against the Amazons. Now, while the Atlanteans and the Amazons were fighting against each other, Mira and Wonder Woman got into a fight with each other as well. They both basically went on about at each other, and the fight was very slick and it was very quick because Wonder Woman simply cut off Mira's head. And now, because Mira was betrothed to Aquaman, Aquaman declared an open war upon Amazons. Therefore, he finally ordered the sinking of the entire Europe. So guys, this was the story as to why and how exactly Wonder Woman and Aquaman went at war with each other. The Flashpoint story will continue in the next episode. Until then, have a nice day guys.